I am Johanna May Gamul, taking up Bachelor of Science in Geodetic Engineering, and I am now 19 years old. One recent popular culture that caught my attention is using memes as a way of entertainment. It became popular because nowadays, most of us are using gadgets on which we are exposed on social media. I think one pop culture artifact that resonated with me personally is wearing aesthetic clothes. When I'm wearing that kind of style, I feel that I'm in this generation. It gives me the feeling of belongingness because that just means that I am following the trend. Years from now, if I see some pictures of myself that are wearing those aesthetic clothes, it will help me to identify when it was taken. Part of the pop culture of Gen Z is to post anything on social media. Even me, I used to post anything, but then I realized that life is much happier if it's private. Because there are people who become mad at you by just doing nothing. From that moment, I refrained from posting anything. I've mentioned that doing and following the trends makes you feel in or part of the generation. But we need also to put in our minds that it's okay even though we are unique. Because of social media, some of us become people pleaser to the point that we posted just to be complimented. We post just to show other people that we're that kind of social media user that are able to follow the trend sabay sa uso or yung term na di na pag-iiwanan. I've realized that pop culture has a great impact on our personality, but it's better if we use it in the right way. Digital age and social media have a great impact on what culture we have now. Since most of us are now using different kinds of digital technologies, by just a glimpse of an eye, what you posted will be trending if it caught the attention of the viewers or the other users. An example of this is the different version of Jopay.
Huwag ka na mawala. Ngayon, dadaling kita sa bahay. Di tayo mag-aaway. Di tayo na tunay na mundo.
There are distinct differences between us and different age groups on the way we engage or perceive pop culture trends. Because before, their mode of entertainment was watching theater plays, going to the circus, watching street plays, reading newspapers and magazines, and many more. But now, in the digital age, by just watching reels on Facebook, scrolling on Instagram, watching videos on YouTube, we're being entertained and sometimes it gives us knowledge and updates about what is happening or what is currently happening.
Recent pop culture trend is the TikTok application, which is one of the social media platforms that became famous and popular around the world because of its contains features that will make its viewer happy, and it also give more knowledge and disseminate informations that are facts and needed by people.
Television because of its entertainment. Vlogging. Ang mga gurang tayo na sinda mahilig sa mga new technologies. Tapos kita kung ano-anong naaraman ta. Social media dahil sa informasyon at komunikasyon.
The recent pop culture trend that caught my attention is social media like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. But why do I think it became popular? It became popular because nowadays we all know the vital of social media when it comes to communication. It became a source of communication for everyone. We notice that in the matter of seconds, we can communicate to our loved ones. The pop culture artifact that resonated with me personally is Tapayan or Banga, but we call it in Bicol Dulay. How did I relate this to my identity or experience? This kind of artifact is the most valuable for me because it has used to be our main water jar for us to be able to drink every day. As what I have said, the artifact that I have encountered or I have been used is Tapayan or in Bicol Dulay. I felt a strong connection with this kind of specific artifact because it valued and it helped me a lot in my everyday living, and it shaped my perspective on pop culture because we valued or we should value the legacy of our ancestor. Social media become the most instrument for everybody. It can provide a firm communication for somebody or for everybody that we want to talk with, that we want to chat with. Hindi lang sa communication, it can provide also an education for us to be able to learn for something, for us to be able to update for everyday living. The example of this is those influencer that we are watching in YouTube, TikTok, or even in Facebook. They can provide a source of happiness, a source of knowledge for us to be able to understand or know the new ideas. Have noticed any distinct differences like in all this, they become a killjoy for the new generation because they do not want us to pay attention for gadget all the time because they have nothing any gadget in the time they are living. That is why they become most productive compared in today's generation.
Recent pop culture trend that has gained a lot of attention is the rise of virtual concert or live stream performance due to the COVID-19 pandemic. With artists unable to tour or perform in person, may have turned to digital platforms to connect with their fans and keep their music careers alive. This trend has also led to development of new technologies such as virtual reality and augmented reality to enhance the concert experience for viewers at home. I think it became popular due to the fans wanted also to connect with the artist or they wanted to see their idol despite of the barriers like the connection and also the virtual itself. I picked Taylor Swift as a pop culture artifact. I've been an admirer of her and her music since she released her first single. It haven't changed. I am still passionate Taylor Swift fan and her music and her drive to empower people. I also appreciate that there at least one song to which everyone may sympathy or connect. It could be because of anything that happened to them or they simply enjoy the song. She also appears to be a humble and wholesome person, which is why I have remained a fan of her all of these years after she initially began. Artifact adds to Experiencing this artifact adds to my understanding of society because Taylor Swift discusses subjects that I feel hold accountability in culture and promote awareness and visibility to it. One of her interviews, she said, "A man does something, it's tragic. A woman does the same thing, it's calculated. A man is allowed to react, a woman can only overreact." This sexism that she mentioned in the interview is something that I believe I can relate or we women can connect to it in their daily lives or even in their personal life whether or not they in the music industry. From my point of view, pop culture built and strengthened my relationship with other people from the same culture. The way I started mentioning of Taylor Swift song Nowadays, songs or listening to music build relationship with one another. It has become a very interesting way of communication. In our generation, or what we call it pop term Gen Z, the pop culture has indeed taken a toll on us. Pop culture is an emotion that we can express through the clothes we wear, the food we eat, the movie we choose to watch, and the homes we decorate. As someone who is highly influenced by the pop culture, I can confirm that most people in society, particularly women and teenagers, look up to and aspire to be like celebrities because they are iconic figures in today's world. Many young women in the 21st century, for example, look up to Taylor Swift, Beyoncé, the most popular and influenced female in the global entertainment industry. This is because they see them as the face of 21st century woman, as well as the best culture symbol of modern feminism. As I interact with different age, I've noticed that pop culture trends have different effect in different age group. Like for example, the Gen Z. We embrace the trend, we engage to it with different perspective. But in other age or people in 30s or older, some are not happy with the change of society because they still believe in different culture.
I am Joshua Ireland, 19 years old, a second-year student of Naga College Foundation taking up Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Siguro based on my environment right now, yung milk tea talaga yung unti-unting nagtitrend. Kasi I noticed that there are so many milk tea shops opening nearby, not just around the school but also in Centro. And I think social media did its part to gain attention and popularity. Shops post their best-selling yung menu and yung satisfactory review ng mga buyers, which led them to be popular. Siguro yung mga books or newly published books. I love books kasi I believe that when new books come out, I gain new ideas, new stories, characters, or even yung mga new writers and artists, not just locally but also internationally. Parang it helps me broaden not just knowledge but also my imagination. I think it's music. Ever since elementary, I really do like listening to music until now. And comparing it up to this day, there are so many music that is emerging which is new to my ears. And I think that is one of my realization about the culture that we have right now, that change is inevitable. Our culture change as years passes. Technology is one of the major contributor of industrialization. By means of digital and social media, it does have a great impact on trends on popularity. For example, that time of pandemic where everyone is to talk sa social media, especially sa TikTok. You intended to make a new dance on TikTok, knowing the fact that there is a million users of TikTok or marami makakapanood, we can already say that your video might gain plenty of attention. I think age is one of the factor on how we perceive the culture that we have right now. Like for example, in terms of fashion, how we dress on this generation, maybe some or most of yung mga matatanda view this as hegemon, right? Or they view it as parang baduy. which is also understandable kasi what we have right now is new to them and hindi yun yung culture na kinagisnan nila.